You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your number one source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene. Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Total Divas After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Total Divas After Show.
Welcome everybody to another edition of Total Divas AFTERBUZZ. Tonight we are doing Season 2, Episode 6, The House Sitters. Welcome everybody, I am Christian Rosenberg. Kaori is unable to be here this week, so instead of 3 lovely ladies joining me at this table, I only have 2. But that's still quite alright, because we're going to have a lot of fun here. Over to my left, I have Miss Charlotte Broadbent.
I like you leading this. Not that I love Kaori leading it, obviously,
right.
but it's different to hear you leading it, right?
Yep. Hey, I'm a born leader. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
I like it.
Yep, and then next to you is Miss Danielle Pascente.
Yes, hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm sitting in your chair. Is
you
this
are.
Weird?
I don't know. I look a lot better in that chair now this week.
Aw,
I look a lot better. Kaori, I don't know what happened to her. God, those shirts she wearing. Man, I don't know what's up with her. Anywho.
You should be wearing the Pac-Man shirt this
I should be wearing like a bright neon Pac-Man shirt, and my nails should be done.
Little
Pac-Man
skirt
style.
tucked into the shirt.
Yeah, I should.
Oh, we miss you.
Yeah, well, she'll be back next week.
Yeah.
Don't you worry, people. But we're going to talk about probably like the most maybe stressful episode.
Right?
This was my favorite episode to date. I think.
Between both seasons?
Yes.
Wow.
Ooh, that's a strong statement.
I know. I just thoroughly enjoyed it.
And there was
every
no
moment.
John Cena, and it was still your favorite one.
Yeah.
Or Daniel Bryan.
Or Daniel Bryan.
Brian Danielson.
Or Brian Danielson.
Whichever you would like to say.
Why? This is my favorite.
So yeah, let's start it off with because the main focus of this episode was Natty and TJ. Natty got a huge, I think it was a 7-page spread for Flex magazine, which is, I mean, that's a pretty popular magazine.
Yeah.
And you know,
7 pages. That's like a good spread.
Yeah. It's much more popular than Rolling Out magazine. And call back from a few weeks ago. And she was invited to New York for, do some press junkets, like having interviews. She's doing a big signing at a Barnes & Noble in New York.
Right.
So she's deciding, this would be actually a great idea to bring TJ along with me, have a nice romantic getaway weekend. And it was not that at all. Mainly because she finds out last second that TJ decided to invite his sister to join them.
Yeah, I mean, to say that, was it last week that they saw the sex therapist, or was that the 2 episodes ago?
I think it was last week.
Yeah.
They've all merged into one now, but
It's just one giant thing.
but so to say that they've seen a sex therapist, and they obviously need to work on the romance, the sex, like getting their chemistry going. This you would think would be a perfect opportunity for them, but I felt bad for her because TJ invited his sister. I mean, way to just kill the mood.
Well, talk about killing it, though. It's a joining room. I think that's where...
That was hilarious.
That was where I was just like, okay, that you went a little too far with that. It's one thing to have her come and another to be like, oh, she's in the joining room.
Don't you think Natty should have countered by then inviting the sex therapist to go with them?
I know, right? I think if I was her, I would have done something like to get back at him and invited somebody, like my friend or something.
Yeah.
Just to be like, well, if you're going to invite someone, so am I.
Yeah, so clearly...
Bitch Charlotte.
Bitch Charlotte just came out. Hashtag Bitch Charlotte. I want that trending.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not a bitch.
You're the one who said it.
I know. That was a bitchy comment.
asking
but,
for it.
like, I felt bad for her. Like, she wants this to be a romantic weekend. New York, it's a perfect place. They can go to the top of the Empire State Building. There's so many things that they can do. It's a huge weekend for her. And he invites her sister and it's not only his sister. It's one thing if they're really close, but they're not. They're not really close.
No, they're not that close. She just always bugs him for money.
Exactly. And I mean, when you're married, I'm guessing they have a joint bank account.
I would think.
That's the way they made it seem on the episode.
Exactly.
Very much.
Maybe not because I don't know. Do you automatically have a joint bank account when you get married?
Well, you have to go to the bank to set it up.
But maybe all their earnings are separate because they both earn a lot.
Maybe based
themselves.
on their contracts.
But,
they probably have some arrangement with it.
But the fact that he gives her a lot of money, paid for everything in New York, paid for her to go to the spa, paid for her to get her hair and makeup done. Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, paid for the flight. They're staying at a nice hotel.
Yeah.
The $450 afternoon at the spa.
$450 spa.
I mean, if
and the nice tip she left. She's like, I left a big tip because TJ told me to.
He probably gave that to her too.
Yeah.
I would like an afternoon at the spa, and I'm a guy. I would love something like that. And he doesn't even spend it on his wife. He spends it on his sister.
I think that's the problem. Like, he didn't think to get her, like, to take her to the spa and pay for that.
Yeah.
He thought to pay for his sister.
Yeah.
And I think that might be.
And on top of all that, he then makes an arrangement with his sister behind Nattie's back to invest in a bouncy castle of some kind for them to use at children's parties. And Nattie finds this out when she's out to lunch with them. Now, remember, she lives in Canada. It's not that warm for most of the year in Canada.
Yeah.
You're not going to put that thing indoors. Why?
Why?
Just why?
There's no rhyme or reason for it.
There's so many other things that you can invest more in.
So many better things.
And the fact that he never told her, I just think is bizarre. Why wouldn't you tell $5,000 that you're spending on a bounce house or whatever, a bouncy castle? How could you not tell her that?
Yeah, he's definitely trying to hide that. And probably because he's embarrassed. Because, I mean, there's so many better things you can spend $5,000 on. You can get 10 spas for that.
You did the math. That's good. You did the math. I can go to that awesome spa 10 times.
Technically, you can get, including tip,
for 10. What you paid for that bouncy castle. And and Nattie finds out about this over lunch with TJ and his sister right before she's about to go to the big Barnes & Noble signing. And I love TJ's sister is just like, I know it sounds expensive, but I mean, you can't put a price on the children's happiness.
Oh, way to like,
oh God,
pull on your heartstrings, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just bad, and Nattie and TJ just going at it, where Nattie just storms out.
Yeah.
And she says that, oh, give the check to her, pointing to TJ's sister. Where when that happens, then she just gave the check to TJ and he would have paid.
Correct.
It just seems like there's a lot of financial strain on their relationship.
Yeah.
Like, he brought up the fact that that Nattie bought her parents or her mom a car.
Yeah. And
it seems like it's not equal, that they like to spend money on their family, but the other person resents it.
I just think that the way TJ spends his money is what bothers Nattie, because it's on his sister. Whereas when Nattie spends money to buy her parents a car or take care of her parents, it's fine. But Nattie can't justify.
Double standards.
Yeah. And so, but they kind of figured it out at the end of the episode, obviously.
Yeah.
Which
it's one of those things where
open communication.
It was one of those things where they're both wrong.
Yeah.
But neither of them
want to
admit that they're wrong. So it just creates this downward spiral of anger. And and then it goes to Barnes & Noble with a huge line of like the kids crying to meet Nattie.
That was so cute.
That was, I almost felt that was almost over the top. I've seen people's reactions when they meet wrestlers and things like that. But it was just like, wow, and this person agreed to have this on national TV.
They paying these kids to cry.
They might be. Who knows?
They're like, here's
like, here's $20.
It's E. Who knows? But then as soon as the signing's over, Nattie then gets a phone call from Ariane, who we're going to get to momentarily, because Ariane was house sitting and she has lost her cat. And Ariane proceeds to lie about things on the phone.
Whole episode.
And then in the midst of the phone conversation, it's like, oh, I got to be honest with you now. As if you couldn't just from the time you called.
I think she was trying to like see how far her lies could get her and realized that it wasn't getting her very far. So it's like, okay, now I better tell the truth.
But in the end, when it was all said and done, and we'll talk about the whole Ariane thing in a second, this is actually where it brought Natty and TJ back together.
Right.
Yeah.
Their mutual hatred and anger to Ariane and Vinny, where they both wanted to. Yeah, Vinny.
Oh, yeah,
we had a Vinny
Vinny.
sighting. And he caused trouble, as he always does. I'm telling you, I've been saying this since last season. When is the Vinny spinoff? I'm waiting for the Vinny spinoff.
He's a character.
So they're both so angry. They're ready to take the first flight out. Mm-hmm. And then Ariane finally calls and says, they found the cat. But like TJ's ready to beat the crap out of Vinny.
Oh my gosh.
And I think TJ's thinking in his mind, if he was a woman, he would beat the crap out of Ariane. Mm-hmm. And that kind of led them to figuring out the issues that they've had with the finances and the money. And again, brought up as far as she bought her parents a car without consulting with him. And she's like, oh, I did do that, didn't I?
Yeah.
My bad.
There's one thing about this scene, though. Okay. You can see Nattie's extensions on the side of her head. And her dress, her bra's showing.
I saw the dress thing. I didn't see the hair extension.
And I was just like, you're on a reality TV show in front of millions of people. It's airing on E. You have extensions showing and your bra. You have a really nice dress on, but your bra's showing. I was really
noticed
confused.
those two things.
This is why we have you on this panel.
I was really just confused, though, because it's a really popular show. You're a really popular person, and you have your extensions and your bra showing.
The only thing I'll say, and I'm only speaking because I've done some reality TV, is that sometimes, you're not ready for the cameras to be on, and they're on. So in your lowest of moments, she had just gotten back. She's probably flustered getting the phone call. Maybe, if it all happened in the right timing. So maybe she was just like flustered, trying to change.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but if she's just getting back, why is she didn't go to the signing with her bra showing?
True.
Or
they were
did
packing.
Or did
though.
she?
I don't know.
Or did she?
I don't know.
Surely not. I don't know. I was just kind of
Extensions is weird,
confused.
though. I think extensions.
Yeah,
is
because
weird.
she has someone doing her hair, and literally, if you go back and look, you can see the extension. There's a gap in her hair, and you can see the extension line. Just looks like a clip-in. And
I wonder if she was getting ready for bed or something.
I'm a guy. I don't
Maybe.
normally look for these things.
yeah.
So.
Well, usually I don't notice stuff like that, but I was
like,
I didn't notice.
I was just noticing, and that kind of distracted me from the situation because I was like, her bra's showing and her extensions are showing.
Forget about the financial issue. Right. What is up with her bra?
Come on, get those sticky boobs, right?
Right.
Invest in those.
Right.
Hashtag sticky boobs. You're having a lot of hashtags today.
I know. I'm on a roll today.
You're on a roll. So Natty and TJ, when it was all said and done, kind of resolved the differences. Okay, now if either one of us has to make some big purchase from now on, we got to talk about it first. Oh, but by the way, my birthday's coming up, so I need some new boots.
I love
and some bra and a new bra
and a new bra and new extensions.
Some new extensions. There we go.
Okay. So intertwining with the madness that was Natty and TJ's weekend was Ariane volunteering to house sit for Natty while they were in New York. So Ariane's thinking, well, now it would be good for me to go back down to Tampa, Orlando area because I have friends down there back when I was in developmental that I haven't seen in a while. So it'd be a fun little trip. Vinny picks her up from the airport, and we have I was reminded of that famous Dumb and Dumber scene with Jim Carrey with the most annoying sound in the world.
My word.
My roommate actually was sitting and watching this episode with me, and he looked at me and was just like, how can you watch this with what she's doing, with what Ariane was doing there? I'm just like, I want to throw my remote through the TV right now.
Okay, I kind of liked this scene. I can relate with her. When I've had a lot of caffeine and I'm super giddy, I'm just annoying. And I know I'm annoying. And
do you scream like that?
I'm annoying. I'll do annoying things, and that was annoying. But I related to that because I'm annoying too. And I think she knew she was being annoying. Vinny knew she was annoying. It's like, girl, you got to shut up. But I kind of liked it because that's just her. She's kind of weird. She's annoying. It's like, you be you.
I'm shocked that they aired it. And I do think it was her being her. It was over the top annoying. But I'm shocked that they aired that particular scene because it was so dumb. It was so dumb.
I felt dumber by the time it was over.
Watching it, yeah.
I liked
My
it.
IQ dropped about 5 points from that 90 seconds.
Yeah. Wasn't just, wasn't that it? That went on for quite a while. Like 30 more seconds.
And what was that again?
You
Can you do it again?
On a
You are a
roll
little hyper today. Kaori goes away for a week, and Charlotte goes nuts.
I've had kind of a lot of caffeine today. There we go.
Well, are you guys enjoying this crazy side of Charlotte? If so, let us know by leaving us a comment on iTunes and liking and subscribing, and of course telling all your friends about the wonderful things that AfterBuzz has, like we do Total Divas. You just did a show right before Eric and Jesse.
Yes.
And we do all the wrestling shows. I also am part of The Voice AfterBuzz. Pretty much any television show you enjoy watching, AfterBuzz does. And you can see the full schedule of those shows at AfterBuzzTV.com. That also includes Maria Menounos' own show, Chasing Maria, which is airing on the Oxygen Network. And of course, we do an AfterBuzz for that. So make sure you leave us comments on our YouTube page as well, because we all love to respond. And don't forget the
5 stars.
She's sitting in my seat, so she had to do the creepy whisper this week.
I like it.
Again,
It had to be creepy.
the creep. Again, you looked better than I do in that scene, and now the creepy whisper sounds creepier than mine.
Perfect.
I'm out of a job. Back to Ariane. She's now at Nattie's home, and we've seen, Nattie's 2 cats, Louie and Charlotte. I was just gonna say, wasn't one of them Charlotte? Now that Charlotte was very subdued and hidden, and
not
shy.
like me,
not like you at all. And Ariane immediately decides just to go through all of Nattie's stuff.
We see her Louboutins and her receipts. The receipts.
What?
That was kind of bad.
Yeah, she's looking through her receipts to see how much money she spends.
I mean, no, and no.
Yeah.
I would seriously not be happy if someone went into my house. And they showed, this is kind of gossip, but on online, they showed an extended version of that clip, and Vinny was putting on TJ's belts and all of his stuff. So
is in clothing belts, or is in wrestling championship belts?
No, wrestling championship belts and his
that's
clothes
not cool.
And acting out TJ and stuff like that. So not cool.
Oh yeah,
I did not.
Oh yeah, and when Ariane then walked out pretending to be
Natty
with I didn't remember Natty wearing a blazer and business skirt.
Ariane was just making fun of her because she's always so conservative. Yeah. I mean, that's the theme.
And then mocking her for her nose that Summer Rae has injured.
I thought that was just bad because when you go and baby dog house sit, baby dog house, cat, whatever sit, and you're staying at someone's house, I trust the person that I'm letting stay in my house not to snoop and go through my stuff.
Yes.
And if I was going to their house, I wouldn't do the same because it's just a line of respect that you don't go over. And Ariane and Vinny completely jumped over this line. And I mean, the whole weekend was just terrible.
Or throw a party. It just reminded me of your parents leaving town, and you're throwing a party, but this is not that at all. I mean, how immature can you be? I was really upset at this whole thing because I was like, if I trusted someone with my house,
completely.
Although do you guys agree that it's almost like shame on Natty? Natty knows Ariane.
I don't think it's shame on Natty at all. I mean, they're friends. They travel on the road together. Natty trusted Ariane enough because she felt like she could. Clearly, that's not the case.
But I also think this could be a producer thing. I think they know that Ariane's the craziest.
Are you telling me reality TV is produced?
You're saying this whole party was a setup?
I don't think the party was a setup. I think that they knew that Ariane's the crazy one, and if anyone's going to do this, Trinity was like, oh my God, what are you doing? And Brie, there's no way Brie and Nikki, Brie definitely not, Nikki not so much. Ariane's the one that would do this, you know? And they're like, Ariane's free right now. Let's get her to Tampa.
I think if Natty
we haven't used her on a couple episodes.
Yeah.
Let's get her involved.
I think if Natty knew that Vinny was coming, because was that shared before he actually got there?
I don't remember.
I don't think it was. I think if Natty knew Vinny was coming, she would have
Change
been
of
like,
plans.
no.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
TJ definitely would have said no.
Yeah.
I mean, 100%.
Yeah. So as we were alluding to, they decided to throw a party where Ariane kept saying, just invite a few friends over for a get together. It turns into about 20 plus people in their house. We're seeing like Louis, the cat, like shots of Louis hiding in a corner because not knowing what's going on.
He's scared.
Oh. Apparently, we have a special guest on the line. Louis is joining us
creeped out.
via
I was
satellite.
like, wait, what's going on?
That's hilarious.
Roya, is that you or was that someone from the computer?
I don't know which one would scare you more.
Good answer.
I don't. Then I don't need any more information on that. So, amongst the guests are Trinity and John, and the best part. This might be my favorite part of the entire season so far. Was John's reactions to everything from this party? Because John's like, "You're dead. You're screwed. Oh yeah, who knows? Oh yeah, let's keep taking shots. That's a great idea. Come on, guys. Yeah, let's just. It's not like we're missing a cat.
Yeah.
He was egging
having
Vinny
a
on.
field day.
Yeah.
He was.
And it comes to a point where people are walking in the house without knocking that Ariane doesn't even know.
Yeah.
And the door is wide open. Yeah, it's just...
So then all of a sudden, Ariane notices the door was open. And she's like, oh, wait, where's the cat?
Where's Kitty?
Where's Louis? Her and Vinny run outside, start screaming. And
This
here
is my
comes
favorite
the next door
part
neighbor,
of the
the
whole
old lady who lives next door to Natty and TJ. And the thing about it, the way Natty and TJ are, it makes perfect sense that their next door neighbor is an old lady.
Yeah.
Like, that's the type of neighborhood I would see them living in.
Yeah, exactly.
And she's like, is everything okay? I don't know what all these cars are out here for. I was hearing you guys yelling for Louis. That's Nattie's everything. Oh, well, I mean, we were looking for our friend Louis. We have a friend that also happens to be named Louis at a party. We're house sitting. It's like, okay. Well,
They seem like good liars.
No, oh my gosh.
No,
are you
but
serious?
they just lie, you know? They just keep lying and don't tell the truth.
It's
like,
true.
Oh.
I saw next door neighbor's facial expressions though, and she was not having it.
Oh,
she
no,
had
not
a
at
little
all.
smirk, like yeah.
Well, and that's why shortly after that, I kind of screwed up when we were talking about Natty earlier. It was her neighbor that left her a voicemail,
Right.
which then Natty then called Ariane to figure everything out. I'm not doing this without notes, people. Bear with me. And yeah, and then so from there, Ariane, Vinny, Trinity, and John get ready to start trying to look for the cat. But Vinny wants to take a couple shots first
Oh my gosh.
because that will help in your search. I mean, it'll calm the nerves. You'll be able to see clearer.
No.
No? Okay. Maybe it's just me. You don't want to run down a neighborhood intoxicated?
That was pretty funny when shows Ariane
Running down the
street.
sidewalk.
Down, like full sprint. Like
Right.
I'm like, wait, aren't you gonna stop and look under crevices? She
yeah.
was like sprinting, like she knew where the cat was.
Like the cat's chasing
Yeah.
down the street, you know?
you're totally right.
And then finally, Ariane hears a meow. And it turns out the cat is just hiding under the car in the driveway.
Scared.
Well, scared to
Probably,
death.
yeah.
And who knows how long the cat was out there because they were talking about how cold it was outside.
Yeah.
They bring the cat in, lock her in the bedroom, let Natty know the cat's been found. So then Ariane's like, cat's found, everything's fine. No, you still have a freaking party going on.
Yeah.
And now Vinny wants to take shots again because, oh, we got the cat, now let's drink. Like, oh, God.
What was it that TJ said to Vinny? Because I rewound it twice and I still couldn't tell what he was saying.
You mean when they were on the phone?
Yeah.
He was pretty much saying something along the line of, like, you better not be at the house by the time I get there or something like that. Because he was ready to murder him.
Yeah. I wouldn't want Vinny.
It
Well,
doesn't.
I like Vinny.
Yeah, you do like Vinny. It doesn't help that they just kept all getting on the phone too. If I were
know.
Ariane, I would go by myself in
Yeah.
a place. I also
Yeah.
wouldn't throw the cat then in the bedroom, lock the door, and continue the party. Like when the cat was lost, I would have probably kicked everyone out. That's just me. What would you guys have done?
Well, I wouldn't have thrown the party.
I wouldn't
in
have thrown the
first
party.
place.
Yes,
Yeah.
that too.
But
Okay.
I know exactly what you mean.
I probably would have spent like 12 straight hours in the massage chair that they had. I'm just like, I'm not moving.
de-stress.
Just
Yes.
de-stress. I am not moving from this spot. Someone bring me food. I'm not moving. No, I just love like the phone conversation you're talking about. There's Trinity and John in the room also, and John's like, it's like, you know, when you're like a kid, don't push that shiny red button. The kid wants to push it so bad, and Trinity act almost like in like his mom, just looking at him like, don't say a word, don't say a word. And then he can't fight it anymore, and he just bursts out because he's probably drunk at this point too, but. He's just having the time of his life watching Ariane.
Stirring the pot.
Watching Ariane just self-destruct.
Yeah.
This is why Vinny needs to be on the show. Because he does just
No, this is why Vinny needs a spin-off.
True.
He needs his own show.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. I would tune in.
Yeah. And we do an AfterBuzz for it. Hey, how about that? So, yeah, that was pretty much the craziness of the party. And then our third segment of Total Divas this week, completely different from everything else. We got Brie and Nikki. They start off going grocery shopping in what appears to be Halloween costumes because there's so little on.
They look hot.
Oh, I'm not complaining. I
like Brie's outfit. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I just wish I saw girls like that in my grocery store when I was shopping. I'm just like, what does this happen?
If they've come from work, I mean, they probably just got dressed up for the show and knew they were gonna be on camera in a grocery store. But I see people dressed up like that, like if they come from work or you know, and they have to look nice. But Nikki's outfit was a little strange. She had a stomach showing. It's like, okay, you don't wear that every day. Brie looked like she could have been to dinner or something. Yeah, and she looked really nice. It's a romper. Your butt kind of hangs out of rompers.
But I'm not complaining.
It does, right?
Yeah,
it does because the shorts are like baggy.
They looked cute though. I mean, you're right. They probably were coming from work, and that was just that.
Yeah.
Well, and they're grocery shopping, and Nikki goes to grab some chicken, and that just sets Brie off. Yeah. You know, Brie, the now hippie wife of Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson, is reminding Nikki, no, we don't want chicken like that. You want free range chicken. These chickens suffered, you know, all that talk. And Nikki's just looking at her, just like, what's wrong with you? You're weird. And that led then to them shooting a music video for Trey Songz.
Yeah.
And they're getting fed lunch, and Nikki's eating like a chicken salad, and Brie's wondering, do you know where that chicken came from? Nikki's like, no, I'm hungry. Why would I want to know? And then in the midst of that, Brie then takes her computer and puts on footage. Actually, my roommate told me, because my roommate's actually very big on this stuff as well. So am I. It was clips from the movie Earthlings that you can watch on Netflix. That is like a documentary about how animals are tortured and stuff to make food.
There's a ton of documentaries now about chicken specifically.
Right. So
I was kind of disturbed by this.
They showed a lot more on E than I thought they would.
They did. You know what? They really did. But that's what they're like. Hour and a half of 2 hours of watching how they're raised or not. And sold.
Like the stuff
terrible.
with the pig, like it almost made me want to cry. Like I don't know what happens. Like I just eat chicken. Like I don't really know the difference. Well, now I do.
Now you do.
And I think I did subconsciously know the difference. I don't want to sound ignorant, but that's not something I know a lot about. And I think just the way Brie was talking about it and her passion would have made me think about it more. I don't think we needed to see the videos. I think that was a little too far.
But do you see how the videos make people say, okay, now I'm going to buy organic free-range chicken?
Yeah, I do, but I didn't need to see someone kicking a pig in the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh, that's true, yeah. So
I was like, oh my God, that's awful.
Yeah. So,
But you're right. It did make me think, okay, wow, I'm not going to do that.
It brings more awareness because it's the drama effect. Like, you want to see the whole thing. And they showed a lot, you know, so... At the end of the day, it made Nikki switch over.
It did. It did what Brie wanted it to do.
Yeah.
Nikki was mortified of what she was seeing, didn't want to eat anymore. Then we fast forward to they're at a Raw taping, and they're in the back in catering, and Brie's sitting there eating chicken, and Nikki's like, "How could you eat that? You just showed me the video. What's wrong?" And Brie's like, "Relax. They assured me it was free range chicken.
Yeah,
it's fine." And Nikki's like, "I still can't eat it." So. What are you talking about? And then they're joined by WWE superstar Heath Slater, who's just like, what's going on? And then Brie filled him in as well, and it's almost like she convinced him as well. It was like, oh, well, I should only eat chicken if it's free range also.
I wonder what Brie had to say or do to convince the producers to air this, because this is a huge topic.
It is a major topic. It's not your normal reality show topic.
I was really happy they brought light to this topic.
Like, this is a political topic.
Yeah. So, and this is a big thing, so I wonder how many meetings they had to go through to convince them to show that.
Oh, you're absolutely right. I don't know. But it was like, you know, watching this, and it was almost kind of like an after-school special segment of just like, oh, this is serious stuff.
Yeah.
We have to learn from this.
To actually take something away
and that's
from
the
this
only
episode.
thing I didn't like. I felt like it was being pushed on us.
Yeah, well, yeah, I didn't feel it was being pushed on us at that point. Once then, Bree's like, I got to cheer up. We're going to go to a free-range farm so you can see what it's all about. That's when it's just like, okay, that's enough.
Yeah.
And now they're hanging out on like the farm, learning about the free-range lifestyle.
In Nikki's big shoes. They were cute, but not for a farm. I lived on a farm, and I definitely didn't dress like that.
No?
No.
No, they went in full heels.
Yeah.
Get up.
They should have
they
worn
were
what they wore to
going
the
out.
grocery store to the farm. and like Nikki saw how it was they were living, and then she felt much better about the whole situation.
I guess that's a good thing that after seeing the way that these chickens were treated well, and I guess it was a good way to round off the topic.
They did a nice job. I know it's an iffy topic, but they did a nice job covering it, I think, and being in the health industry, I really think they did a good job kind of differentiating between the different kinds, free range, cage free, that kind of stuff. So they did a good job on the topic, I think.
Yeah. And then in the deleted scenes, they showed them celebrate their trip to the farm by going to KFC. No,
Wait,
that was bad.
like-
that was a joke. That was a joke. And apparently,
We both went quiet. We were like,
that apparently
Wait,
grossed you
what?
guys out so much. Score.
Oh, nice
No,
one.
no, thank you. I thought it was just a bad joke, but the silence actually worked for it. So that really, am I missing anything from this week's episode? I think that pretty much sums up all the craziness that we've had.
so.
Yeah.
Should I be like Kaori and say predictions for next week?
We could.
We could.
Predictions?
And now, your AfterBuzz.
Do we have no news and gossip?
I don't think there was really any new news as far as in the world of wrestling over the last week. I mean, Brie Bella's probably off TV at the moment because she's helping Daniel Bryan with all the tragedies.
Right.
Now, Daniel Bryan has gone from like the super highs to the ultimate lows overnight.
Seriously.
Because not only did he, as we talked about last week, how the sudden loss of his father last week. So because of that, he was in the very first segment of that Monday Night Raw, and the storyline had him just beaten up and carried out on a stretcher. So he was just done within 15 minutes of the show. But he, I want to say it was Friday. It was either Thursday or Friday of this past week. There was a Make-A-Wish kid that he was like the Make-A-Wish request, like John Cena is all the time. Dan O'Brien was for this kid. And Dan O'Brien personally invited him to WrestleMania to see like his big moment when he won the title and everything like that. Mm-hmm. That kid passed away. Oh. Like in the midst of him mourning his father, and this Make-A-Wish kid that was his personal guest for WrestleMania. So it's
when it rains,
Bree's,
it pours.
yeah, exactly.
Right, completely.
So Brie since then has not been on TV either. I'm under the assumption she's with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, so obviously, thoughts hopefully, because he has a pay-per-view main event in 6 days that he still has to prepare for. So he's going to be going through all of that.
For him.
A very, very, very tough time.
I have to say, Summer Rae, she had one line this week that was dissing Natty. Is her whole storyline this season just to diss Natty? Mm-hmm. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Like she was put on...
She was in the scenes
Well,
for
the
next
predictions
week.
for next week, that she's kind of involved with Mr. Fandango.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, and then
That looks good.
one other tidbit that I knew I had some type of little news thing, and this was it. WWE on their YouTube page, every week they have a segment that's called WWE Inbox, where people have sent questions for superstars or divas to answer. So they did a segment this past week where they were asking divas in the NXT division, those down in developmental, asking them questions. And we see JoJo is in the inbox segment answering questions. So for those people that thought she was just out of a job, no, she's not. She's just got off the show and solely working to become a wrestler. And she's down in that.
I saw that too.
Good for her.
So yeah, that's a lighter note that we can end on instead of the sadness.
I'm glad Summer Rae will be back next week for some drama.
Yes. And no sign of Eva Marie for next week.
Yeah, none of her. What
she wasn't. I don't think we saw her at all this week.
We did when she she said.
Oh, that's right, we did.
Ariane's gonna look after your pussy.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Very classy
line.
We saw that
from last night.
Right.
Honestly, I'm glad you brought that.
And
up.
with that classy line, I say we end the show.
Okay.
And there's no better way to end it than a line like that, which I will not repeat because I'm sitting at a table with two women.
Charlotte's got some good hashtags for y'all tonight.
Yeah, please post your favorite hashtags from the show and send them to us all on Twitter. And how can people reach out to you on Twitter, Danielle?
I'm on Twitter at Danielle Elise P and on Instagram at Danielle Pascente.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at CharlotteB_TV.
All right, and you can follow me on Twitter at CRosieVOC. You can also find Kaori on Twitter at Kaorius, Kaorious, maybe.
Yeah.
I've been doing the shows with her for about a year. I should know how to spell it by now. And, of course, all the AfterBuzz TV news, you can follow them on Twitter at AfterBuzz TV. So thank you all so much for tuning in. For Danielle Pascente and Charlotte Broadbent, I'm Christian Rosenberg. See you next week.
See ya.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.